one of the churches upon the coast of Martinaise. One of, was it 7 that we now know of? I don't know if we'll be able to visit any of the others. And that's okay, because the church we do have access to is packed with such rich context and delights, and the just undeniable dance mastery of our friend here. Andre?
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
That's right. It's been a week, I almost forgot your name. We have a savoir-faire check to dance our fever right out. And I cannot wait. If it's anything like karaoke, it may be let's see it once as a failure and once as a success, because oh my gosh, what a delight that was.
Goodbye, officer.
Okay. Goodbye to you, Andre. Remember that I love you. Stay away from child's balloons with your spiky haircut. Where, the hell were we? Let's get a quick journal update. Inform Plaisance. So we need to go back and speak with the bookshop owner. Inform the dice maker within the furnace. Look for Ruby on the coast. That's right. I don't think we had time at the end of last session. Finishing the little church side quest thing seemed to add another bonus point to our mural skill check back at Feld Electrical, if that's the name of it. Hello. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. But also thank you. And thank you for the gifted subs. Oh goodness me, what a privilege. And to one of my favorite artists, no less. A stunning, what's the word? I want to say savant, but that's not quite the word. But a stunning figure in the artistic community. So we can go back to the Feld Electrical mural. And that may be our best hope to continue our main quest line. We still need to go to that island to determine where the shot came from. It is almost after hours. I think we're probably going to lose Kim soon. To sleep, not fatally. And so we can go back and talk to Clausia as well, which I'm excited about. Well, thank you for the subscription. That is so kind and nice to see you there. It feels like it's been a while. But my own impression of time is suspect, so maybe it has not. We never did ask Kuno. We were right there at the Whirling and Rags, but we did not go to the backyard. We got to race back there and ask him. Or maybe we did, and he said he had nothing to do with it. I can't recall now. We'll figure it out. So, we have a couple of leads. I think we spoke to everyone in here. We should be kind of done with the church for now. Sans dance break, which is to come. So while we're nearby Feld Electrical, let's head right for the mural, see where our bonuses are at, and we'll go from there. And then maybe we can head down to the fishing village and put little Lieutenant Kitsuragi to bed. With forehead kisses, no doubt. Let's go this way. I don't feel like ascending stairs. Ugh, my old knees. What am I, 44? Did we decide? My 44-year-old knees. Alright, I do have to be up here. These are not stairs, so it doesn't count. Hooray! I'm fine on ramps. Alright, the, father/child have disappeared. I hope they're okay. I hope I don't find their moldering corpses later in the boot of Kitsuragi's motor carriage. That would be devastating.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
It certainly is. And God, I've missed that voice. 58%. Not bad. Not bad for an impossible check. We could even... Why did I roll my R's? Increase was the word I was going to say. Increase our shivers to see what that gets us. But let's try the old triples and see if we can pass it at 58. I have confidence. We'll quick save it first. Because secretly I don't actually have
The
confidence.
once bright mural
Here we
towers
go.
above you. Suddenly, there's a sigh carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it.
Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
The beach below the boardwalk. A winding tunnel we shall find. While you're here, by the way, if you're still here, by the way, Armored Core 6, I have reached the wall, and the scaling of said wall, and the many, many artillery platforms of said wall. Just to give you a quick update, I was able to take out the helicopter thing, and the roaming badass in his wheelie boots, and then a hard stop at the wall. Because I have not made any assembly changes just yet. I'm thinking I should probably start going that route and spend my million or so heavy gear credits. Just in case you're interested, there's that. What is happening? Sorry, Shivers, I got distracted by mechs. What is happening?
She's down there.
Say, I think she's down there. And then point to your trousers. Nope, don't. Below that. Below the trousers. Below this building.
Okay. Why?
The wind told me? Hang in here with me, Kim. The wind, it speaks to me through what I don't know if it's an imaginary woman's lungs or a real woman's lungs. Either way, there's a woman, and her lungs have spoken to me. Well, we've looked everywhere else, or ever since I woke up, maybe even before. I've been getting these strange cold spells, a shivering of me timbers, if you will, Captain. I mean, Kim already knows that I'm weird as all hell. I can probably say anything to him at this point, but I want to stay in his good graces as a semi-professional detective. So I could fully explain my absolute craziness, or I could go sort of a mundane. Well, hey, we've narrowed it down. Let's check down here. Let's be adventurous. So ever since I woke up, Kim, and maybe even before, I've been getting these timber shivers.
Good, yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there?
Yeah, pretty much. I can literally talk to my hangover and my tie. That's how bad it's gotten. I'll call it a gut feeling, my friend. Seems appropriate.
So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Where we're going, set my sunglasses. We don't need doors.
Finally, my time to shine.
There is a ladder next to the sign. Point to it. Perhaps we can climb it and enter through the roof. I don't want to depress my sense of savoir-faire by denying it its time to shine. Sure, let's try to leap up to that incredibly unsafe-looking rickety ladder with my 44-year-old knees. That'll be good.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
Oh, you'll live far beyond that if I have anything to do with it, Kim. I am going to pay for the latest and greatest in high-tech medical treatments. I will replace your pelvis with bionics from top to, Never mind.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
You would say that, physical instrument, but it's also probably a good idea. Let's come up with a plan B here. Alright, we can now inspect the ladder, or sneaky drain pipe. Quickly, Kim, change into the clothes you least enjoy keeping as we're about to cover them in sewage. That went well. Quick saving it again. I hope it went well. Oh God, I hope it went well.
An old pipe peeks out from
Can't
beneath
be
the
sure
rotting
in this
boards
game.
of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the fell building?
Well, let's whip out my physical instrument and check. Not like that. Not what you're
A
thinking.
building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Perhaps a basement access.
Come closer, my dear, and look in.
Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe.
A family of possums attack you. All of them straight for the eyeballs, their tiny little possum claws piercing your grape jelly flesh, letting the liquid inside your corneas leak out onto their eager tongues. No, that's just a hallucination I was having? Okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead.
The lieutenant looks over your shoulder.
What's in there? Do you suppose possums? Oh, possums, do you call them, Kim? I've never been sure. I've never been sure if that was only the Irish term. Hi-ta-toy. There's a family of opossums. What's in there, Kim?
At first, you can't make anything out in the darkness at all.
Well, don't make out with the darkness. What else?
As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side.
Kim, there's butts in here. And
nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
so this is like one of those tunnels that some sadistic serial killer would make their victims crawl through to escape. It's not but broken glass and syringes and malevolent possum claws. Is that what I'm to understand? Do you think we could get in here through this pipe? Do you want to crawl across syringes with your new robotic pelvis?
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either.
Yeah, definitely gonna get some sort of tetanus. I added an extra syllable to tetanus just to make it fancy. I hope you appreciate that.
However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
The lieutenant pushes aside the reeds and looks around, no doubt a saucy euphemism. I don't think he's literally pushing the... You know, he may be. It may be literal. It might not be saucy.
And it's right here, a maintenance door.
He points to a rusted metal double door to the right of the pipe, riddled with tetanus, obscured by the reeds.
Oh yeah. Big boy time. This needs you to put your back into it.
Try to pull the door apart. With a +1 because I broke into a communist's apartment. What's in there? The basement, you suppose? Why is one of my pectorals so engorged? Lieutenant? I asked you a direct question. You have to respond. It's a lawful order. So I could try to rip the door apart. 8% isn't great. Oh, welcome. What kind of stream is this? A fascinating question. How do I explain? When two people in love each other very, very much, how do I explain? What kind of stream is this? I'm asking. At 8%, you would pull the door, but it's a push door. That's exactly right. Struggle and struggle, a la... What's his name? It's gone. All I can think of is Tim Robbins, and I don't think that's it. I think you should leave with... You know that guy, a la that guy. And I'd like to genuinely apologize to the comedy community for this lapse in memory. Beyond the reeds, you say, was that over here where we found this, like, sewer grate, or is it right next door? And I've gone over here for nothing. I forgot that you followed this channel after listening to The White Vault. Thank you for listening to The White Vault. And I'm sorry about your emotions, and have never actually been online while you were streaming before. Well, hey! Welcome. Welcome to the... I guess it's appropriate to call it a partay? with exactly that emphasis. And it's so nice to see you here. Your party hat is particularly fetching, I must admit. Where were you pushing reeds, Kim? And I'm not speaking euphemistically. Though if you'd like to join me at my apartment later, never mind. I don't know what he was pushing aside, and it seems it will remain a mystery to me for all time. Well, fair enough. I guess we're not going to solve the case. And this is where the game ends, right here. What's this? The faded remains of a poster with the date 46. Her name is faintly legible, and I've missed it because I took so long to narrate. But I hope you saw it. Ah, my emotions! Graham Kastner, you devious bastard. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to the good folks in the audio drama community. I'm so proud of you. What a privilege. Alright, I mean, it must be nearby. You would suppose, given the wind of logic blowing through my fashionable blazer right now, that it would be nearby. For Kim to have made that assessment, I guess it's just like you interact with the pipe to break open the door.
Behind
seems to
the
be
pipe, the maintenance
the idea.
door, rusted shut,
Okay.
and half sunken in sand.
I guess the wind of logic blowing through my blazer made me overthink that interaction a bit, but yeah, sure, I'll break open the door that is inside the pipe, and we'll go that way. 8% chance, not great. What is my physical instrument stat? 3. I have one more slot for potential upgrades. But I wonder if it's another one of those interactions that increases in chance as I poke about. That would be nice. And to be honest, it's a little too late to start interrogating Ruby at this point. If I was to be interrogated by the police, at this point in the day, I would prefer they wait until morning, after I've had myself a juicy Danish. That would be good. So we could wait and save this for tomorrow. My fear is that I am, like, right on the cusp of the inevitable, war in the streets, blood spilling into the gutters, splashing the orphans' frocks. And I'm not super enthused with the frock splashing, if I'm honest with you. And I never am, so... Pardon my sipping. Just had to segue out of my admission that I've not been honest with you. So I either have to get real beefy real quick, start doing push-ups in the sand, or we wait until tomorrow. I'm not sure which would be a better end for the orphans. I am very concerned, but one more day, what's it gonna hurt? Let's leave a manual save here, on the off chance that I ruin everything. Which, let's be honest, is quite likely to happen. So, other things I could do before we say goodbye to Kim. Is there like a very short investigation nearby? Because he needs his beauty rest, because he is gorgeous. I could also savoir-faire my ass up to the roof. I think that was a slightly better chance. Given that I am so weak, but I kind of think that's just like a game over screen waiting to happen, even if I succeed in leaping up there. We could go to the doomed commercial area. 2 quick conversations, though conversations can sometimes take like half an hour, it might not be that quick. Ah, the indecision blowing through my blazer right now. It's fine. Let me double check what the savoir-faire percentage was, as I have forgotten. And will continue to do so.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Let's be honest, most of the rungs are missing. I think It's like a good 30% of the rungs.
That doesn't look good at all.
It sure doesn't, Kim. Assess the situation.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp.
Everything about this ladder screams, stay away from me. Do not touch.
In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
I'm 180 meters? Wow. 190, I'm a giant. No, 180 seems about right.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead...
I love that the ladder is telling me that. Like, perhaps if you were to not climb me. Yeah, that's wise advice.
What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Ah. What if instead of it being an absolute death trap, in my mind it seemed quite safe and I was delusional?
Astral projection. Be open-minded about this.
Alright, what if I don't climb, and what if I just astral project my fantastic ass to the rickety roof?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Oh, come on. With an attitude like that, it's not. The lieutenant stares at you, stone-faced, begging you deep within his eyes not to do this. Come on, Kim. Where's your adventurous spirit? Teleportation is a thing. It just needs a bit of concentration. I burst a blood vessel. It won't hurt to try. It will. It will indeed hurt quite badly to try. In your blood vessels and elsewhere. So there's no real, like, you're right, I'm not going to do this. Maybe in the next dialogue option there will. I'm not gonna poo-poo Kim's pragmatic aura. And I don't know for sure that teleportation is a thing. But I guess it won't hurt to try, but that sounds very foolish to say out loud before I fall on my ass and break everything. But, what about me isn't foolish? It won't hurt to try.
Oh, yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Certainly could. Teleport to the roof. I get a bonus because I saw a nude man clambering around the rafters of a church once. That's very kind. A 58% chance versus an 8% chance. But like I said, even if I succeed at this, it could be a hobo cop dies on rusty boardwalk ending. I mean, I really want to see that, so here we go. Teleport to the roof, baby!
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is...
do it!
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle! It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
What is Kim seeing right now? What does this look like from an outside perspective, outside of my delusion?
Okay, well, that's impressive, but...
BAM! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
That's easily the best way I've ever seen a game developer get out of having to make a ladder climbing animation. Bravo! Bravo! I did it, Kim! I teleported! Don't gloat. Just stand there like a Samaran master. Yes, don't gloat. That's
You know,
right.
for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed.
I know, and it really helped. I'll let you in.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear,
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
What was that? Sorry, the wind. It's very... What did you say at the end? No, I'll let you in. But I won't go adventuring without you because the suspect may be hiding here. I had that thought. That came from me. I can't believe that worked. But we're up here now. And so far, so good. Let's continue. Central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Let's hope it doesn't start back up again. Or the central support beam isn't going to be the only thing destroyed. My blazer! Down we go. It's dark in here, Kim, and I'm quite frightened. But I just remembered that I have in my possession the most sensual of flashlights. And so I'm okay now. The way I said that didn't sound very good. I said flashlights, but I put a weird emphasis on it that I'd like to apologize for. It seemed a little inappropriate. The glass is covered with grime and dust. You can barely see out. Then again, your old-ass eyes can barely see. To begin with, there's a note on the ground. Should I wait for Kim to be with me before I read it? No, it's a secret note for my old-ass eyes only. Yoink! Postcard. Martinez 98. What do we have here? A faded picture postcard from the end of the last century shows Martinez as it was before the Revolution. It's the height of summer. Rue de Saint-Ghislain is teeming with parasol-wielding bourgeoisie, and wild pines flags buttress the walkway. Nothing is written on the back. Aww. Just now seeing that Mario voice when we come to the ladder. Here we go! I do not think the ladder consented to this. Luckily, I didn't see me interact with the ladder, so I didn't violate its wishes, right? No, if you close your eyes and violate someone's wishes, it still counts. Darn it. I'm a monster. Down we go. Down we go! I'm gonna need to work on that Mario voice. It's become quite clear. There's so many options. I'm spoiled for choice. Look at me. Spoiled. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. Can one? Antiquated office furniture. Last century, maybe? That's some old furniture. Brought down and forgotten so long ago. This overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. Oh, God. Get me away from it. Oh, hi, Kim. I see your broad, sensuous shoulders out there. 1 second.
2 rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
This is cute. I know who's there. It could only be Lieutenant Kim, but I'm gonna ask because it's like a fun prank.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
I like this for you. This robot voice. It's hot. Push the doors open. Hey, buddy.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the 2 metal panels slide open with a creak.
I was sort of glossing over the paragraph there, towards the bottom, if that's not inappropriate to say, and for a second I thought it said, with the help of your partner, the 2 metal panels slide open like a cheek, and I thought, why are they describing it this way? But then it turned out it was me and my gutter mind at play, once again.
I hope no one dangerous heard that.
You think there's someone dangerous in here? Hold me, Kim. Take me into your loving arms. Are you ready?
Yes. Time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Quite dark. Whew. I was worried I was having some sort of a seizure there for a second. All right, let's move quietly. I agree with that. I agree with your plan. I found a postcard, by the way. I didn't want to leave you out. Let's see if we can mention it. Sorry, I'm shining
Yes?
this right in your eyes. Nope, he doesn't care about the postcards, so we'll just give him a quick sniff and then move on with our day. We've already smelled him, it's fine. Give it a quick save, though. And we're back! We're back to the adventuring. What's this? Old file folders in the cart. Documents silvery with mold. Oh, don't touch. Don't touch them. A series of thick, dusty panes of glass. Ooh, new blazer! What do we get? What do we get? I always forget how to get to my inventory. I forgot we got a pinball maker's coat, too. One to empathy? Aw, what a lovely trait for a pinball maker to have. And one to hand-eye coordination. This dusty old coat used to belong to someone called M. Knifelocks. The name is stitched into the silk lining. Gorgeous. It smells of moths and ancient engine grease, but fits you perfectly. A strange, lonely emotion fills you when you tighten the belt around your sensual waist. I don't know why everything's sensual today, but it is. +1 to suggestion for the interistulary suit jacket, dressed for the occasion. A muted brown suit jacket, perfect for a day at the office or an evening at a cafe. The red rose at the bottom, tee-hee, of the left breast, tee-hee pocket is slowly wilting, tee-hee. I like it. I can't wait to see what that looks like on me. Did I miss anything in the original room? I don't want to miss out on some gloves or boots.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components.
These are computation components?
Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for stopping by. It was so nice to see you. And thank you for the subscription again. And thank you for taking good care of your daughter. Bye for now. All right. Okay, the filament memories, wires, casting glass. How did they do that? How did they do that?
The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know.
I wish my fingers were
The
smarter.
why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced.
Everything is sensual today, and that's a problem? Well, certainly not for me, it seems. Hey, Kim, look, check these out. Put your fingers on them. See if your fingers are smarter than mine.
So it is. I think these used to form a single system, slotted in the wall.
The lieutenant tilts his head, watching the light glimmer on the glass. I love these little moments. So, this is all that remains of Feld R&D. Could this be a part of the Feld playback experiment? Let's go in
The
sequence.
rest of the building seems to have been picked clean.
Could it be?
These? No. These are old filament memories. I hope you're not expecting to find a device here. You will be disappointed.
I kind of am. I really want to see the FPE, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink.
All you'll find here is pain.
Why? I didn't fall off the ladder or nothing. Why? All right, finish thought. Look at these shadows back here. What a gorgeous game this is. Look at these shadows. My flashlight is kind of ruining it, but still. My flashlight. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. I knew it! I sensed a crevice back here. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one has slept here in months, maybe years. Not Ruby's hideout, then? A hat! A revolutionary's hat. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed. Great band name. Ancient flyers and brochures.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spider web in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Look, Kim, it's Comrade Mazov. Brush the dust off the portrait first. Let's be respectful.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
Oh, but it was all the rage. It was the height of fashion back in the day. This narrator certainly has a voice. They certainly do. It's a privilege to wear headphones. Except for when I interject. But when he's talking, what a privilege it is to be wearing headphones right now.
Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Kim, is there like a red dot on me right now? Do you want to maybe tackle me to the ground because you love me and want to protect my life, or... No? You're just gonna stand there? Well then, look, it's Comrade Mazov.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
Despite my plans for political revolution on this particular Isola, Kim does not seem to care too much for communism.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
I got that impression a long time ago. How long?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing.
He looks around, his neck slender, well-muscled. As he cranes from side to side, you can't help but notice the little divot of his collarbone and think, well, I could put a finger right in there. Sorry, I didn't know I was still speaking out loud.
I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
What's with all these secret weapons caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Not until I came along and gently brushed the face of our dear Comrade Mazov, you mean? Maybe I should move in here. It seems cozy. It smells of moths, but it seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Fine. You're not going to help me move until we solve the murder. I get it. I get it. All right. Could it be connected to the Mazov bust we found in the students' room? Quite busty, if I do say so myself.
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Could someone have stopped through here recently, do you suppose? Use your nose, Lieutenant Kim. Tell me if you smell fresh meat.
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
All right, thanks for your opinion. What if we redacted in the moth-ridden communist bunker? Smooched? What if we busted? Oh no. I hope we don't get busted in the communist bunker. These pots and plates are full of dust and spider webs. It looks delicious. Dig in. I seem to have invested... Oh, no, wait, there's something up here. The same slit window you saw from the outside. Ah, yes. I remember that. Secretly, I don't. I'm just trying to score cool points for having remembered things, but I don't remember it at all. Look, Kim, footprints. Made by a foot. Boot prints in the sand. Great band name. One of the soles appears more worn than the other. That sounds familiar to the boot prints we saw by the hanged man. There's something in the air, An unnatural buzzing. Not the bees! Oh God, Kim, run! Run with me! Take my hand! Take my hand, we're going back to the communist bunker to smooch! No, it's probably not bees. I don't know. I don't know what it is. The boot prints go this way, and we gotta go the other way. I'm not gonna miss out on collectibles. The tunnel collapsed. You'll have to find another way around. Oh, good. Oh, good. No collectibles here. Probably worth another quick save before we get attacked by what is almost certainly going to be a giant spider. It's getting louder. The buzzing sound.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Lieutenant, do you smell a tingling?
No. What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know what I mean by that. It's like a pain, a strange tingling under the scalp.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
They did smell fresh, you're right. Boot prints in the sand. Next title of my single. B-side, revolutionary propaganda on the bed. I love the B-side. Hold on, you really don't feel anything? Have you no sense of shivers? I saw them too. Let's keep this professional. Footprints with the right sole worn smooth. Note it. Note it down.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
What, like she's gonna shoot me in the thigh?
Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
Well, that makes me worried the other way. This whole time, I've been worried that if we didn't find her, we would start just a terrible, bloody riot in the streets. Now you're saying if we find her, there might be a bloody riot in the streets? I bet you'd be a bloody riot in the sheets.
You will upset the balance
You will
of power,
upset the balance of
Martinet.
power.
The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize.
I was looking for a quick segue away from that comment, so that I wouldn't have to be held responsible for it, but Logic was already narrating it, and I just interrupted. And I'd like to apologize for that. Hello, hello! Nice to see you there. Somebody, and I won't name names, has been dropping onto distant worlds to fight the most hellish bugs with what can only be described as a ungenerous reload mechanic. And I blame you. I blame you so hard. Martinez sounds like a light sauce that you would have with fish. I'm so hungry right now. I'm so hungry I almost choked on my uvula there. Sorry, Logic. What were you saying?
Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
All right. Let's take a breath here, Kim. Everard knows more than he's told us. Maybe we should continue working for him. No, thank you. I'm not going to evict the old washerwoman from her... what's the word? Her traditional? Nope. What's the word? I can't think of any words today, so we'll move past it. I'm not going to evict the old washerwoman from her home. We'll go with that. I suddenly remembered we were running the serial number on the victim's armor. I guess we were. I'm also guessing these are hints as to things you should probably do before continuing down this path. So we could talk to the police station in Kim's motor carriage. Hooray, hurrah. Do you think whatever happens will affect our cryptozoologists? How bad do you think things could get? That's a good question to start with. Like, what do you think the consequence of this will be?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
He smiles in the dark as though just the thought of razing the entire city to the ground gives him some sort of sick satisfaction. And me too, frankly, me too.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
Well, that seems just like an excuse. For when the inevitable bloodshed starts, I'll be able to say, well, I couldn't predict it, so wash my hands of this. and then I literally wash my hands, as they are soaked with the blood of children. Do you think whatever happens will affect our cryptozoologists? Probably not. It's probably unrelated. A very ungenerous reload mechanic. I just want a jump or a dodge, and I'll be happier. Still having a blast, though. It is kind of fun to be like a normal, like day 2 of soldiering, getting my ass handed to me on a plate. It's fun. You're preparing for a game night with friends, so you won't be on tonight, but hit me up anytime you're going for a dive. Sweet. Next time you're going for a dive. Hit me up never. Like, oh, fine, I'm sorry. I thought maybe we could play, but fine. If you're gonna be like that. Alright, it may be worth just talking these out with Kim, though I don't really think they're going to affect things tremendously. It would be really good to know a name. So the serial number on the victim's armor would be wise. However, I think it's probably too late in the day to call police headquarters. They will probably be sleepy bys. You know how police aren't available at night? I don't know if that's true. In this, I have no intention of handing out eviction notices, so let's not even mention it. But what do you say to this, Kim? I suddenly remembered we were running the serial number on the victim's arm.
You think we should finish running it now? Maybe you're right. It might not be as useful later.
It seems like a pretty strong hint.
It's a minor point. Don't worry too much about this. There are bigger fish.
Also a strong point from logic. Well, just to make conversation, because I'm cold, and I want to get closer to Kim, purely for selfish body warmth reasons. Do you think whatever happens will affect our cryptozoologists?
You mean Morel? I don't see how cryptozoology and the murder investigation are connected. But the situation in the city will get tense for everyone.
Super tense. There's gonna be clenched butt cheeks from here to Revachol. Are we in Revachol? I mean, I guess what I mean to say is there will be clenched cheeks here, is all.
If it gets that tense, the amateur zoologists might not be able to do their job.
Reaction speed? Why would you say that and make me worry? You know I have the anxieties. What do you think is waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
You say that as I'm actively shining my flashlight into the cavern, which can be viewed from quite a distance, unless we're hunting bats, and then maybe they couldn't see it. I don't know, I'm not a bat. Maybe you can see beams of light with sonar. I don't know.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Thanks, Samoa.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Both you and Lieutenant Kim put your hands to his holster. Okay, so, of those options, the serial number does seem kind of important. If I can have a solid name to go off of, that's great. However, Clausia did give us a name. Seeley, I believe. But that could have been like an affectionate nickname, or he could have been lying to Clausia. So it's like if we knew the exact armor he was wearing, it would be helpful in asking questions later. But my sense of logic does not seem to think that's a huge deal, either way. I am going to save it. Once more, in the darkness of this cavern. And then I'll just think about it for maybe 20 minutes while you guys sit here and wait, bored out of your minds, for me. We could go back now. We could try calling the police, probably not going to answer. If they don't answer, I probably have to put Kim to bed. It's quite late. So this could be better served in the morning either way. We have a save to return to should bloodshed reign all over the orphans' frocks and smocks tomorrow. So let me just be a little overcautious. Wow, I've lost the ability to speak. I'm fine. Overcautious. And, let's go to bed. We'll deal with Ruby tomorrow. Again, it's too late to be knocking down people's cavern doors. Knock, knock, knocking. So, I'm going to race down to the fishing village. Kim will leave me and return to his bougie 5-star hotel room without me. And I'll be all cold and shivery alone with naught but a dead mongoose for coverings.
It's getting late, and it's raining. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim. Mwah! Little cheek kiss for you. You have a good one. Send him away for the night.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Oh, that seemed very professional for the way that I bid you adieu. Enter the shack. Ah, I'm having thoughts.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum.
Focus on that hum.
The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside,
I have no hat.
it is cold and windy.
I have no ears.
But you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
It sure does. The washerwoman has made a lovely home for me here, and I will be forever grateful.
What is this place to you?
Who's asking? It's the woman with the giant lungs again, isn't it? Well, this place is my new hangout, where I could silently sit, drink, and die while looking at the waves roll in. This is my forward base for the coastal part of the operation. My FOB, if you will. It's free, and that's good enough. I could live here. That would be the honest answer. It's a possible resting spot for my fugitive, is what it is. It looks like my new home. I wonder where the old one went. Devastating. Give me 1 second. Gotta grab another cup of coffee. As if that's what I need right now, given the rate at which I'm speaking. I'll be right back with you. My coffee's grown cold, the tannins are bitter, I'm sinking like a stone upon the shore. So what is this place to me? It's free, that's good enough, but it's also a little dismissive. Frankly, this is way better than anywhere else I've been since I woke up from my incredibly severe amnesia. So it looks like a new home. I'm not going to mention drinking and dying in case I damage my morale. And this is very professional. This is good cop behavior. But nah, what about me makes you think I engage in good cop behavior? This looks like my new home.
Westward, across the canal, towers the whirling in rags. Door number 1 on the 2nd floor is locked. Behind it lies a trashed room. 1 floor below, behind a counter, stands an irritable man.
That's not necessarily the home I was talking about, but yeah, thank you, Shivers.
In a small shack in the fishing village, a baroque heater hums quietly, emanating a sense of comforting warmth. A wash basin lies on the table, the water inside reflecting the somber face of the world.
But I will never know what that somber face looks like. Don't you tempt me, wash basin.
Far away, on the corner of Perdition and Main, a nondescript building, obscured in a haze. It's vacant and lost, just like its tenant.
That's the home I'm talking about. Perdition and Maine. This feels like a cozy hideout. Thank you, strange sensation of a woman's lungs, for a fair assessment of the current situation. No, wait, I changed my mind. I want to choose again. It's the first time I've ever seen that option. I wonder if they'll be like, no, it's too late. You've made your choice and you will live and die by it. This does feel like a cozy hideout thanks to my Baroque heater. And I'm going to go here.
Who are you talking to? There is no one here. Not even cold.
That's rich coming from one of my internal voices who's actively conversing with me right now. I'm talking to one of you. Thank you, strange sensation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Revachol forever.
That's not like an early sign of Alzheimer's or anything. It's fine. I'm fine, right? Right, Doc? Okay. While we are free of Kim, though that's not the way to say it, I miss him dearly, we have two things. We need to talk to Glacia. And I guess the other thing would have been to use his motor carriage, but he seems to park his motor carriage, if you know what I'm saying, during the even time, and so we might not be able to do that. But let's head back to the whirling real quick, like. And Martinez waterfront. I think his car will be gone, and so it be. I shine my beam into the empty space where the ghost of Kim Kitsuragi's motor carriage once resided. Into the whirling, up to the 3rd floor. I'm a little, zoomed in. There we are. There's the good view. I like to see my surroundings. Otherwise I feel claustrophobic and goose-pimply. Let's check if Glacia is still awake. I should knock first. That would be polite. But alright, here we go. I am not polite. Glacia, I missed you. You have so many loading screens, Glacia. Why? Hi.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
That's an interesting dialogue option. Now that Kim isn't around, why do I feel like you have won here? We had an entire conversation with our inner dialogue earlier about how my senses, given my apparent attraction to Miss Oranje Disco Dancer, are clouded, and I can't trust anything that my senses are telling me. When she's in the vicinity, let's get back to those lies you told. Sassy. I like it. But this is why I'm really here. Now that Kim isn't here, let's talk about Sunday night. But given the fact that I'm definitely going to put my foot all up in my mouth, so far I will be able to taste my ankle bones. Let me quick save it first.
I was just thinking,
Salty.
what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
I know, right? Gorgeous. Now that Kim isn't here, let's talk about Sunday night. What did you hear? What do I have to apologize for?
Yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer.
Yep. It's one of the first things I remember doing in Elysium. Why am I referencing it as Elysium? Okay. Before you was the only... sorry, I've had a small seizure. Before you was only the room, the sound of the motor vehicle, steam in the bathroom, and darkness. Why was the bathroom steamy? What was I doing in there? Did you hear something Sunday night, you know, from my room? Yes, that is one of the first things I remember.
Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
Oh, I can't pick the other option? I wanted to really make a meal out of that tree. So did you hear something? Why was my bathroom steamy? Did you hear the reason why my bathroom was steamy?
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
Did I have, like, a gentleman caller, by any chance?
I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo.
And you mentioned loud disco music. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my taste in tunes?
Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
She arches her eyebrow, waiting for ostentatious orchestrations to connect with you.
Oh, that? Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
Gonna call it ooh for short. My encyclopedic knowledge thinks oof about this particular band.
Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Sounds like a great time. Yeah, we go on all right. God, it feels like forever that we have to go on. Wish I could just get it over with already. It mostly just gets hard, doesn't it? It's a bit depressing. Which always makes me instantly want to pick it, but I've learned through harsh experience not to do that because my morale points only stretch so far. Let's be optimistic. Yeah, we go on all right.
I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace.
What happened?
A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it.
Was I singing this? Sure, the empty case of the smallest church in Saint-Saëns.
Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also... that it doesn't matter anymore, and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
I'm sorry. Sorry, cop. When you say wounded, do you mean that in like a cool way? Like a wild beast of a boar? A big old boar? Then what happened?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
Are you sure I wasn't being assaulted? Have you any proof? No, I probably trashed the place. That is so me. What did I do? You're making this up. I would never throw my shoe through the window in a drunken rage. Yeah, let's just own up to it here. What did I do?
A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
In my undie pants, yes, I sure did. Was there anything else? Please tell me there wasn't anything else. It prides me to hear this. Tell me there was more. Was there anything else?
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable.
What type of animal did I think I was being in that moment?
I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it.
Say nothing. Really make it awkward. Oh, thank you. Thank you for filling me in.
No problem, sir.
Alright, let's return to this later, so that I can quick save it. And then I am very curious what her response to me saying, "Due to your intoxicating pheromones, I feel as though you've won our exchange."
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
Why do I feel like you've won here?
I really don't know, sir. I certainly don't feel like I've won. I feel like shit, sir. All the time.
Oh, same. Alright.
She smiles, a bitter little smile. She means it.
But this turned out so well for you. You've slipped past all suspicions, and by now I'm sure you've sponged your ex-lover's blood off of your face from when he died atop you. So, why do you feel bad? What's there to feel bad about? Maybe all of the horrible things that happened to her. But this turned out so well for you. You've slipped past all suspicions.
Clearly, I haven't. We're having this conversation, aren't we? How well could it have gone, I mean?
The rain falls on her shoulders, tinting her blonde hair light brown. It smells of industrial pollution and brine.
It's probably really safe to have in your coffee cup and on your cigarette, I'm sure.
I'm stuck in Martinez just like all of us. I've been up here for... I don't know how long now. I like to call this my rooftop containment facility.
I like it. Very FBC of you. What are you contained for? Well, this all turned out well enough for you. You somehow managed to not become a suspect. Just because I didn't clap her in irons and immediately ruin her life on very little information doesn't mean she's not a suspect. Something seems off with this theory I've developed about Ruby, I mean. The dried flowers on the roof, could Ruby have left them? These don't fit with anything. I have found no dried flowers elsewhere. Except, all across the coast where the flowers are quite dry. But this rain should help. I've got off topic. What are you contained for? You never can be sure when they're going to limit you to picking one option. I want to have this whole conversation, but what is primarily important to me? I guess, help me out with the case. Help me out with my theories about Ruby, who I know nothing about, and have no theories.
I don't know what to say.
It all seems fortuitous for you.
None of this is fortuitous for me.
Yeah, the whole dying atop you thing. I forgot for a second about that. The dried flowers on the roof, could Ruby have left them?
The what? Oh, those ones. I don't know, sir. I said I have no idea what to make of them. Honestly, I think they're just trash.
If there's anything I've learned in my, 4 days in Martinez, it's that nothing is a coincidence.
I mean, there's no reason for me to think they're somehow connected to her.
There's no reason for me to think they're connected to her either, but they're definitely not just trash. I can tell you that. So that didn't really get me, much in the way of information, but it didn't seem to anger her hugely either, though I've tasted my ankle. So I'm not sure if we should just let it ride, having had this conversation, or if I should back it out and not mention it at all. What are you contained for? Let's go here.
For my sins, of course. The long-standing sins of a bad, frivolous person.
Oh, come on. You might be bad, but you're not frivolous. I mean, maybe the other way around. You're not bad. Whichever one you take better.
For destroying my first love. For working for bad people. The list goes on and on.
It really wasn't your fault. I can't stress that enough. The fact that somebody decided to snipe a person has nothing to do with you, I'm sure. We've established no real motive for the killing yet, and you're taking it all upon your shoulders, with no evidence. That's it then, I guess. I do plan on backing it out, so I'm just gonna go here as well.
Did I? Why do I still feel suspicion hanging over me then? What I managed was to get him killed. I'm the love that does people in, remember?
That's a gorgeous turn of phrase that now I want to retain in my memory and ears, which makes me want to not back out to my quick save. That's it then, I guess.
She nods slowly,
It could give
carefully
me experience. And I am nothing but a greedy hoe for experience, so...
There is suddenly a strange glint in her eyes. Not malicious, but dangerous.
Dangerous, eh? Then let's push the bear. Poke it, even. Let's get back to all these lies you've told, and then unfurl a comically long scroll that you've made from the prop department for just this moment.
Lies.
It's unclear what she intended to say when she cut herself off.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We
Calm
demand
down,
her anxiety. We demand her fear.
If you ever find yourself in the position of saying things like, I demand your anxiety and fear, you've lost it. You've lost the plot, and you've become a bad person. What if I told you you're under arrest? She'd probably tell me, where's your partner who has the handcuffs? Like, what are you gonna do? Your real name isn't Glacia Amandu. You wouldn't give me your real name if you're on the run. Interesting point. Curious to see where it leads.
Okay.
Her voice cracks suddenly, like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what? No, we really don't need to do this. Thank God for that quick save. Oh, okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
I mean, even if she's using a false name, that really doesn't contribute to her guilt or innocence either way. I would be using a false name if a corporation was trying to assassinate me too. Good. You can tell me the truth. I won't tell the corporation.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't
Very
just
good
beg you
point.
not to enter my name. So I lied.
You can beg me. I'm very pliable. I'm like a whole gallon bucket of silly buddy.
Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
She looks at her hands. Her fingernails are chipped white. It's not really important right now. Tell me your real name out of pure curiosity, though you have no reason to. It's just a polite request.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
Gorgeous. The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so. I'm definitely glad we're having this conversation, because Kim, bless him, and his gorgeous ass, would probably take note of all of this, and I'm not going to remember it tomorrow when I wake up, so she's safe.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism.
The finest kind. Hold on, Katarzyna Alizier is not an Oranese name, is it? It's not even Mundi, it's Grad. Finally, we meet, Katarzyna. I'll just keep calling you Glacia. I'll just call you Miss Oranje Disco Dancer. What would you prefer? I don't get to decide what I'm going to call you. Hold on. Is it Grad?
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Alasia is my father's name.
He sounds like a lovely man. Finally, we meet. This seems okay. Though I could also just say nothing. Finally, we meet.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
Or maybe because I was really very desperately poking the bear, and that causes tears sometimes. I don't think we need to press it any further. Enough!
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
Oh, that's weird. It changed it to her real name. So we've already established in the previous session, she is, as I said, on the run from a corporation that she did a little embezzlement and she ruined some people's lives who didn't really deserve it. I mean, who hasn't ruined some people's lives who didn't deserve it? And we did not arrest her last time because the moment her name goes into the system, she is dead. She will be shot. So I'm definitely not going to arrest her now, especially now that I know her real name, but to be completely safe, I probably shouldn't even know her real name. But what if it turns out to be very important later? Like if that serial number from the ceramic armor comes back to a Katarzyna.
She
doubt that's
slowly
going to happen.
lights another cigarette and steadies her breath.
Let's return to this later. So I did get like 10 XP out of that. Is the only thing preventing me from immediately jumping back to my quick save. But 10 XP can be recouped at another time. Quick save is the one I want, not the autosave. Load. So very fascinating to know. However, wipe that from your memory. We know nothing. I will not poke her in her time of grief. And she's told me everything I need to know about myself, which is really what we're here for. Selfish cop. Alright, good. So, I can't call the police station. Kim is dozing, hopefully completely buck-nude, right behind this door. And the thoughts and imaginations running wild in my mind right now about what might happen if I just gently knock, and the music starts to kick up a little, and he's like, "Why don't you come in?" And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Let me just slip into something more comfortable." And his towel drops a little, and you see his the bottom of his abs where it's like a muscular V, and then never mind.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away.
Clearly, it's not doing a very good job, because I'm still standing here. It's a very good question in the chat. Is this stream always so high-key horny? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it ebbs and flows.
The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
What am I doing? No, don't question it. You just listen to your shivers.
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair.
What do I see?
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
And what do I feel?
Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your jacket grow heavy. The cold finds its way under your skin. You shiver, and the city shivers with you.
I think that's an earthquake. I think we should find some cover. Under an archway or like a school desk.
You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat or a patrol cloak.
I do have one. Now that my blazer is quite soaked. Ooh, it's gorgeous being this far out when he moves his flashlight. What is in the west, the east, the north, the south? Motherfucker! What is in the west?
Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinaise, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds.
Tell me more.
The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
This is such a fantastic part of this game, is these little moments where you just like catch something in the environment and the glorious narrator guides you through a eloquent description of it all. I love these little moments. Ah yes, the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west, and mofo. I love it. Who are you, ghosts? You're just a bit of undigested beef. What is down the shore? Run your fingers through your dampened hair for the delight of no one but you in the reflection of the whirling. What's down the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. A defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water.
Positively thumping with Nordic dance music. And beyond that?
Coal City, end of all lines.
End of all lines. Can I do all three? I would love that. Who are you, ghosts?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows.
Even the light is golden in the financial district. Must be nice.
Will you ever go there?
Will I? I don't know. I'm not very well put together financially. My 401k is in shambles.
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinez every day.
Finally, it's time for a little treat, Fingies.
Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance.
Not as much of a not as much of a treat as I was hoping. Oh, it's oily and smoky. Ah. So what's in the east?
There's a fleet on the corner. A plastic coat is folded into a small triangle under the counter by the window. Beyond that, the strike breakers have gathered. The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide.
Clench your butt cheeks to stop the shuddering. Shake your shoulders like a little puppy in the puddle. A little puddle puppy. Sure.
You shudder, looking down at your feet. Dirty rainwater runs veins into the plaza's snow. You realize you have no shoes on. Your feet are red with cold.
It feels like I was supposed to have this epiphany, like day one, when I was still not wearing any shoes. I'm wearing shoes now, but that's fine. We'll pretend I'm not wearing shoes. What's in the north?
Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls.
Oh, those poor little walls. They didn't deserve this.
Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. The evening news.
And closer to here.
A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. The lingering odor of decomposition mixes with that of damp soil.
Oh, I love that we have a new one. What is below? Fascinating question, but what's in the south? Below, but in a different sense.
A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised.
And what's on the other side besides demoralizing memories?
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
Where the hood at? Of my motor carriage? Or are we trying to be, disrespectful? I'm not sure. Why am I not there? Or shudder and look further. Look further into the depths of the motorway south, where the pale begins to consume all physical matter, and not but the bravest and most manically insane souls dare to cross to the distant Isula. Look further.
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
I'm sure if it was unsafe for the industrial pollution to be pitter-pattering into Clausia's coffee cup, that it's probably fine in my open eyes. That's fine. So what's above? While I'm looking above, what's up there?
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
I do wonder, like in the I'm not wearing shoes vein, if I had picked a character class that had a higher shivers quality, would I have seen this earlier? It kind of feels like everywhere you go, there's a random chance for an environmental shivers feeling. And I just happened to hit the invisible die this time around, even though we've been here over and over again. So it's like, I wonder if we were to do another playthrough of this game with higher shivers, what other secret descriptions we would find, which would be well worth it considering how gorgeous the descriptions are. So what is below us?
Collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater, hidden weapon caches from the Revolution, doors leading down to Leroyam, the catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead.
Hold on. There are catacombs down there? And where, pray tell, might a humble RCM officer gain access to these catacombs?
These spring thaw will not last. The winter will return to Revachol.
Oh, I'm sure it will. What a gorgeous little interlude that was. Alright, I'm back in the cold with my thin blazer and my, fearless flashlight. Anything else I needed to do when we did not have Kim with us? Go ahead and quick save it again. It overwrites my possibilities to pry deeper into Glacia, which is for the best. I'd like her to keep her privacy, even though I was too curious and violated her privacy, but then I backed out. I backed out to an earlier save. The Revolutionary's hat provides +1 to Mazovian socioeconomics, a friendly neighborhood communard. Spider-Man 4. An Ushanka with the Mazovian logo, a pair of deer antlers on its silvery white front. Your ears feel cuddled and cared for by the state. I love it. Alright, since it is raining and like the middle of the night, I'm gonna go RCM patrol cloak. Keep myself a little bit drier. But if we need logic, we'll return to the Koryev jacket. I'm gonna save it while I'm in my patrol cloak. Yeah. Okay, now let's check the jar. Things to do without Kim. This seems kind of on hold. If we did indeed talk to Kuno, which I can't remember. If we did, we'll want to check with him again tomorrow when he's awake and not in a drug-induced 10-year-old coma. Scab leader about the tattoos, we're not doing that. Little girl gets to keep her gloves, we're not doing that. Help Egghead with the beat. Hardcore! Go to Billy Merjon's apartment to deliver the bad news. Probably want Kim with me for that. I'm not doing this. My horrific necktie desperately wants me to drink, but I'm resisting the urge, considering how badly I trashed my hotel room and generally bummed everyone around me out. I didn't just bum them, I want to be very clear. I bummed them and then out at the end of it. Perform an advanced analysis using HE coordination. Find the firearm that killed the hanged man. Apparently I got this on Tuesday and have not done it. Alright. I do need to return to the, fascist's apartment and analyze his composure. I mean, I don't mind waking him up. Fascists don't deserve to sleep. Leave Kuno in his 10-year-old drug coma and go wake up a fascist. Let's do this. I should probably have backup when I'm dealing with dangerous situations, but it's fine. Below the grime, a dark neon poster reads, Van Eyck, totally transcendent. Does it? I forgot about that. Now that we got further in that quest, we're seeing posters which may lead us to his current positions. Kuno does not sleep. You were right in the chat. He's always riding the lightning in the backyard. So I can double check if we asked him about the insect traps. Pretty sure I remember doing that.
Does Kuno care?
I want to buy your pants, please. Take them off. Take off your little boy. Oh no, these are just a separate pair. A spare pair. I see. You wouldn't happen to know anything about missing locusts. That seems unclaimed, so my memory is faulty. This is not news. I don't think Kim particularly cares about the cryptozoology questline. Kuno's shadow is gorgeous right now. Like some sort of a haunted puppet from Little Nightmares. Don't do that with your arms. That makes it worse. Don't do that again. So we could ask him about the locusts. I fear that Kim will miss out. Like, the thing about things Kim doesn't care about is the more he's with you on them, he starts to care about them. And, like, this may be one of those moments where he's like, you're right to have us follow this. And I am now interested. I don't want to rob him of that moment, but while we're here, tell me about the locusts, my boy.
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about books.
I bet you do. I bet when you're hungry at night, you little street urchin, that you grab a centipede and chow down.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Aha! Caught him in a lie. Your Honor, clap him in irons.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
You stay out of this, Kuno S.
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
It's much better than regular prison.
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
Alright, now hold on. No one is lame here. Just tell me what happened. Or, what's this about? What is it with you two kids? Tell me. Be honest with me for once. I'm gonna try to assure them that no one is lame here, but there's kind of nothing more lame than a lame 44-year-old man telling you that you're not lame. I fear that that might just sort of double down. What's this about?
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Ah, that's right. I am your state-appointed lawyer. I'm lying to you, Kuno, for information.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
Oh, it's fine. No, really. What am I gonna do?
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
I do remember his pig head's shack. Hey, Kuno, let's talk about your shack.
The fuck do you want with it?
I've heard enough of this, young man. You watch your tongue.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk
All right.
to Kuno about his kingdom.
I'll be back to talk to you about your pants
Kuno
then.
doesn't
Goodbye. Kuno will learn to fucking care. Into the shack. Wait, have thoughts first. The sound of melting snow dripping off the roof. It's strange. In what way? In what way is it strange? What are you trying to tell me? Alright, what do we have here? It's crawling with locusts in here.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows.
Aw, he built him a little house? That's the cutest thing ever.
Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Or did they build their own house? I guess I don't know enough about locusts to know if that's a thing they're known for.
Sounds like you found the locust, detective.
But somebody made a cute house here, is the point. What is this? I guess I'm just asking myself. And the shack.
Heaps of leaves are rotting among the mud-caked towers. Dozens of little locusts feed on them, buzzing away with vicious joy. Kuno has really outdone himself here.
Aw, Kuno is a good father.
It's an ode to self-expression. It's the work of a self-taught visionary.
Should go and ask him to stop then. Why? I mean, yeah, I really want to find the cryptid. I want to find that cryptid bad, but this is gorgeous. This is the best thing that's happened so far. I don't want to go and ask him to stop. But yeah, you do have the locusts. You've been stealing. I'm gonna have to take you downtown. Wash your mouth out with soap. But I know you're just gonna twist that into some psychological...
Fuck does
It's gonna be
Kuno
bad
care?
for me. So I know you took the locusts from the traps that the cryptozoologists set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
He meets my gaze with sullen defiance.
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
I was really hoping it would be the reed phasmid that ate the locusts, not you, Kuno. I didn't want you to eat the locusts. You say you, quote, don't give a fuck about bugs, but then you go and you build a whole bug town? It's gorgeous in there. It's at least 3 Michelin stars. Why steal the locusts? Couldn't you find some other pet? I'm gonna mention the town. I really want to give him his propers for this gorgeous town.
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
It sounds pretty hardcore.
Stop!
It's so lame. Your love of bugs and your cute little bug town. You will appreciate this bug town, Kuno-S. Or I will, I don't know. I have no power here, so you watch it.
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is.
That's exactly
Please
what I was
just
talking
don't
about.
say you're...
Oh man, he's into it. It's lamer than ever.
An artist. Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
He's discovering his identity, coming into his own. Hold on, did I hear you right? You said I? It doesn't seem appropriate to draw attention to it. He's going to get self-conscious. Making art is a worthy calling. You know, I'm something of an artist myself. Thanks, Willem Dafoe. You should listen to your friend, Kuno. Art is lame as hell. How dare you? I guess this is the best one, but again, I don't want to double down too hard on the... I approve of what you do, 'cause his latent rebellion will take over and he'll destroy Locust City. And that's the one outcome I'm not comfortable with. But it is a worthy calling, if you care to listen to such an old-kneed man.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
It's too late. The spark of art has been inflamed into a raging bonfire.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way. You can do anything you want to do, Kuno, except for tear that shirt, apparently. Which I'm grateful for, if I'm being honest.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
A leaden silence fills the yard. Interesting thought. Converting Kuno from the most anti-establishment urchin to ever live in Martinez to a junior detective. I like it.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window.
That depends on the choices you make, young girl. There's a big mustache implied in that dialogue option, like a big walrusy situation. Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promised I won't do that. What is it that I promised I won't do? Take Kuno-S away? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I probably don't have to weigh in here, if I'm being honest. Kuno is his own man. Kuno can say anything he wants.
Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence.
Where'd you go? She's invisible now. I didn't know she had that kind of technology.
For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face.
Alright, so I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important, and those locusts are bait. I mean, yeah, on one sense, I do want to find the phasmid, but the life these locusts are living now, free and easy and debaucherous, as it should be for locusts. I have to ask, what does the city of locusts mean to you as an individual? Well, what's going to happen to the locusts? I guess this is really the important question. Is he giving them one last debaucherous night on the town, in the city of rage, before he, burns them with a magnifying glass? Because that's not cool. You're gonna continue to take care of these locusts, right? You're not like Sid from Toy Story or something, right? What does the city of locusts mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck.
He turns his burning face up to the falling rain, and pollution seeps its way into his open eyes.
Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
No, it's not. It's not lame, I swear. What's gonna happen to them?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Of natural causes? So I need you to stop taking the locusts.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
Okay. Well, now that that's settled, I'd better be off.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
I don't mind being honest with the child, but is being honest with the child going to lead to some sort of desperate consequence with the Insulindian phasmid? Kuno finds it first and taxidermies it before we find the appropriate proof. I mean, I guess his taxidermied version of it would act as proof in that scenario, but yeah, I'll let him in. I'll let Kuno into the inner circle. I'm looking for a cryptid, boy. He mutters to himself, and then he peanut butters to himself.
He recognizes the name.
What the hell does that mean? Wait, you know what the Insulindian phasmid is?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
I don't know why that cracked him so much.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Have you guys seen the phasmid? 'Cause I'd really appreciate it if you just point in a direction. Either north, east, west, south, or mofo. I'd really appreciate it. See if there's any follow-up dialogue.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Does not seem to be any related to the phasmid. Alright.
Kuno doesn't...
Thanks, Kuno. Alright, you kids have fun. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back with you. Thank you for listening to the Martinez Rain Simulator. I hope it assisted in your focus while you were working on your novel, I guess? You working on a novel? What's it about? What's the first chapter like? Does it start on like an adventurous note, or is it more of a build-up to that? Like a slow burn into an explosive moment, or how have you structured it exactly? A message has been carved into the wall. Trans Nation. Eich Nation. That's usually what I shout when I sprain my back. Eich Nation! I wonder how many of those I need to find before I have an epiphany of where Van Eyck is located. I assume he's somewhere in the city rather than across the river. I'm not sure. I'm having a thought.
There it is again. There's a spectral scent haunting this pair, no doubt. And it smells like
Banana bread.
sea brine mostly,
Ah,
because
sea
it's a
brine.
pair.
Should have guessed. You're working on a script. Tell me what it's like.
Years of turmoil, of hopes and dreams, ground beneath the inexorable tides of capital.
I can kind of smell dreams being ground down by capital. If I wanted that sort of thing, I'd just go outside. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let the brine fill your nostrils, yes.
What do you smell? The first thing that strikes you is the overwhelming brine. You imagine yourself underwater, a 100-legged arthropod scuttling along the murky silt at the bottom of the sea.
It sounds gorgeous. Go on.
But then the unmistakable reek of seagull shit hits you, buoyed along on the air currents. An acrid melody atop mouldering cords of wood rot and heavy fuel oil.
I mean, even when they're describing the seagull it sounds gorgeous.
It smells like a pear, in other words. A completely ordinary pear that provokes no ideological associations whatsoever.
And yet, the smell of capital crushing the working man can still be detected faintly?
Absolute rubbish. Your politico-olfactory cortex doesn't deceive you. The smell is coming from that balcony over there.
Ah, so our dear Cindy the Skull is a dyed-in-the-wool communist. Join my movement, Cindy.
Certainement. A precocious communist youth. A symbol of a kinder, more hopeful future. Now's your chance to establish contact with your revolutionary brothers and sisters.
I'm sure that it's a good thing I'm having this conversation without Kim. This is very good use of my night time.
A chance to establish contact with the future. What a beautiful, terrible thought.
Old poster hidden below new ones. Arno van Eyck, 49, of the Elysium. Sounds like an obscure live performance in a dirty underground bunker, my favorite. In a dirty underground bunker, you say? Why, I know where there is one. Could I trouble you to allow me to burst in with my physical instrument? Not a euphemism. Still can't get into this dumpster. And here I am, a hungry raccoon. My weird little hands are scrambling at the lock. What's changed? Went to the village on the coast, officer. See you there. Joyce, says the note on the post. I miss Joyce. Anytime I'm in an area where Joyce is not, I miss Joyce. It's also what I call her to try to be respectful. Miss Joyce? What's this? How have I missed it? 16 days of coldest April. No doubt an autobiography from a raccoon with weird little hands. The cover features a row of concrete buildings with a monochrome rainbow in the sky. It tells a rather excruciating story about two lovers during a period of ethnic unrest in Yugograd. The book has been filed under psychological realism. Interact with it. Unless it will demoralize me. Which it may. It may very well demoralize me. Let's quick save. just in case. Alright. Interact.
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekatina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
Oh, it feels heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad.
How long is this book, anyway? Is there something inside of it? Is it heavy for a reason? Should I pry open the backing and search for gold bars?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long.
Well, grab some tea and settle in. We're gonna be here for a while.
Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading.
Look at the back cover.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
What does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
If I wanted to see the eyes of a sad old woman, I'd just look in the mirror. Put the book away for now. We'll definitely go through 600 pages of incredibly small font, tightly set, dense reading. Don't worry. I'll come back around to this. I see in the chat there, try equipping your pry bar and then accessing that container. Good plan. Put my flashlight away. And pry bar? A multi-tool. Or a tape player, maybe? Just bang that on the dumpster? Let's go, pry bar. I'll be right there, Cindy the Skull. Sorry, I got distracted. And thank you for the suggestion. It's very good thinking. Aha! You know, there's probably a good 6 or 7 things I've walked right past for this exact reason. I'm really glad to know that. Thank you. A signal blue navy coat. A naval coat? Hey, oh. Hey. Oh. Naval coat. +1 to suggestion for aye, Captain. But -1 to half-light for your officerial poise. This classic double-breasted coat suits everyone, even you. And if you ever find yourself battling winds at the helm of a ship, then the coat's heavy fabric has got your back, even if moths have left a few holes in it. I don't know why that got so piratey. Fantastic. Right off the top of my noggin, I know there's like 2 little boxes next to the Feld Electrical sign that had a similar jangle to them. Return back there. There's a strangely Scottish pirate. I'm sorry. That's the only pirate I know. The strangely Scottish kind. Dwarf pirates.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Cindy, you're drunk. There's only one of me here. You're seeing double. But I don't mind that you call me officers. I have not spoken to her since we stripped her compatriots of their jackets and sent them off into the cold. I'm here to attempt to establish communist contact with you. Hey, sister, let's talk politics for a minute, I should really quick say before we have this conversation, because it is going to go poorly real fast. Hey.
Hello again, officers. Have you
My
come
nose
to
tells me
what
that
do
you might be a
you
communist.
know about politics?
She squints at you suspiciously. I'm looking for comrades to help me fire up the great Mazovian sausage grinder. Will you help me? Wear your communist hat. That will increase my chances. But I'm already in the conversation. I should have looked at the chat earlier. I'm so sorry. Alright, one of the Union guys said there's someone trying to organize an underground revolutionary cell. My nose told me that you're also a communist. We should team up, join forces. I'm searching for a bunch of mole people. These are all true good things. Let's try to phrase it in a slightly realistic way. One of the union guys said there's someone, I'm not naming names, trying to organize an underground revolutionary cell.
An underground cell? My. Sounds big time.
No doubt riddled with mole people. Heard anything about it?
Sure. I know someone who'd love to talk that ideological stuff. You're looking for Steban.
Who's Steban?
A right communist who runs a mega cool and very secret meeting.
Does this Steban happen to have a jacket like this? Show her the white jacket.
He might.
Will you help me find him?
No.
Aw. Is it money you want? Here, take some. I've got plenty. That's like 20, like most of my money. Let's be honest. 5 real? Good God. I guess I should just give up then. Nothing ever works out for me. I'm so sad and pitiable. Please tell me where Steban is. Just tell me what you want me to do. Just get it over with. I'm sure Cindy would appreciate some money, but this does seem a little rude. Oh, it's all about money for you, isn't it? I shouldn't jump to conclusions. Maybe she wants me to do a favor for her. Does it involve Kuno? Because I promised not to strike the child, but if it's the only way to get the information, I guess I could break my one rule. We did have success when we asked her for a paintbrush. Just being super pitiful. She was like, fine, just take it. God, you're so pitiful. So we could go that same route, but I don't want to press my luck. Let's try money. Here's 5 real.
Keep your money. What I want from you's better than gold.
Fine, I'll go hit Kuno. I know where this is going. You don't even have to say it out loud. I'm going to protect you here. I know exactly what it is you want. So what is it that you want?
A wicked grin extends across her face.
Oh no.
A laughing skull. Death hilarious. This is gonna be bad.
Like a sheep?
Oink for me, piggy. Just once.
Oh, that's easy. It's the easiest 5 real I've ever made. With gusto. Oink oink.
Wow. That was easier than I expected. It's almost like you've been wanting to do it this whole time.
Any excuse to oink oink, that's my motto.
A cool, damp feeling.
Oh,
ripples
it
through
damaged
you.
me.
You realize you needn't have rolled over quite so easily.
I could have fought a little harder for my dignity, I guess. But no, it's fine. I don't mind.
Sounds like you're really
What dignity?
serious about meeting Steban. It's touching. Sort of.
No one's touching Steban. Not on my watch.
Steban's group meets only at night. In an old room in these apartments here. It just so happens you're in luck. Their weekly meeting is tonight.
What luck. Tell me which apartment it is, please.
Poke your snout around sometime after 10 p.m. and you might just find them.
That's very helpful. Oink oink, Cindy. Why do I feel like there's a catch here?
Oh, smart pig. Because there is. See, Steban's a bit on the paranoid side. He's got all these mega secret passphrases to keep out infiltrators and the like. You can't join the meeting without one.
Well, that's fine. I'm pretty sure it's Remember Dobreva and Abadanize. I've forgotten how to pronounce that. Abadanize? But you're not going to tell me, are you? I mean, I forget where we even read this. Remember Dobreva. But, I mean, worth a shot, sure.
Huh. I guess this little piggy has done his legwork after
Oh, yeah.
all.
She sounds slightly disappointed. No, I've done my reading, and deep thoughts of the nature of communism. I can't wait to grind my sausage. Sorry, I should have phrased that differently.
That's enough. Off with you then.
She makes a lazy shooing motion with her dangling hand. Okay. I do want to mention that I scared off her friends, but I don't want her to hate me. Maybe she needed these friends. But they send their best. That's good. That's a nice thing to hear from your friends, right?
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
They seem to hold you in high esteem, which means that you are the quote-unquote leader of the Skulls, and therefore have broken the basic tenets of Skull Society and are expelled. Please hand in your school books. I think they're just afraid of you, to be honest. I made up the sending their best part, but I did talk to them. No, I want her to believe that they send their best. They seem to hold you in high esteem. I don't think she'll appreciate that. I think they're afraid of you. I think she will appreciate.
They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place.
Skulls are cool. Can I be a skull? You're silly. What are you even trying to achieve? I got it. I mean, I kind of want to be a skull, but she'll never let me be a skull. You're channeling Mr. Beansworthy, who's sitting next to me and has been screaming at the screen every time he's about to die from lack of morale. I do like to play it on the edge. Just about to die. I have not, this entire time, used a restorative item. Not once. To be honest, I don't think I knew that was an option. I've just been avoiding consuming any substance whatsoever. But I should probably heal my morale. Yeah, can I be a skull? I'm going for it. We're going for it.
Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
Ooh. Side quest? Lay it on me, Daddy. How's that?
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though straining to hear something in the distance.
She's just gonna tell me to f*** off out of the neighborhood, isn't she? That's how I'll improve it. This is gonna hurt my feelings.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinez, no gunshots, no sirens. The people are languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
That sounds vaguely threatening, but I'm in. I'm totally in. You start the raucous, and I'll go hop in Kim's motor carriage and really get it a-wooing. I'll catch you later, Cindy the Skull. Alright, into the apartments. Time to go give a secret communist passphrase to my newfound friends. Is it over here? Is this the secret communist meeting? I brought my bust. I'm very busty and ready for the meeting. Oh, goodies. Yum. Moss crawls on the bathroom tiles. Actual moss. I'm not kidding around here. It's real moss. We did wonder, though it isn't super obvious in the game. I thought every time you picked up stuff like Nosafed or magnesium that it went into your inventory, and it took me a bit to figure out that they just increase those numbers above your health and morale, and you just have to click those to heal. That is very good to know, and I appreciate it. That will probably save me from dying a time or two. Thanks, Prybar. 75 cents?
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup à l'oignon.
No, that's the smell of communism.
This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard.
How hard is it? Is it going to be?
Don't knock. Just leave. You don't need this. You don't need to sad it up.
I do need to sad it up. I need to sad it up hardcore. I will like to quick save it first, though. Thanks, Horrific Necktie, for giving me the opportunity. Alright.
A weathered brown door. Something. This is the...
Don't knock. Just leave. You don't need
Knock.
it.
Hello? Who is it?
A voice calls out from the other side of the door.
And someone turns down the radio.
Is this Billy Majon's home? Oh, this isn't the... Oh, no. I thought this was the secret communist meeting, but this is like the family of the dead guy on the boardwalk? I was hoping to have Kim with me for this. But what if they are one and the same? If Billy Majon's family are hardcore communists? Just gonna gently check some other doors real quick. On the off chance. This Kim should be with me for the only other dead body we've found together in our travels. Wrong number. I didn't think it was this guy who had the meeting, but we'll knock. With
This
my pry
door is
bar.
made of metal and appears to be reinforced. No one answers.
Clang, clang.
No one answers.
Fine, I'll save my trolley song. Nope, don't go back there. This door. This is the door. I did check the young communard's apartment downstairs. On the off chance, but it seemed to be empty. And the one to the far right was empty. This is where the realtor was, once upon a time. I don't know if Cindy gave me any more information about it that I have completely forgotten at this point. Let's check up here.
As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion.
An animated discussion about communism.
This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez.
It's very appropriately lit, because this is what the streets are going to look like after I enact my communist rule.
Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt.
They're imbibing recreational drugs in here, and it's quite earthy.
The acrid smell of failure.
Hey, Rhetoric, you stay out of this.
No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Wear the communism hat! Yes!
Just look at this pig, sniffing about after hours.
You told me to come here. We just had this conversation, Cindy. Why didn't you say the secret door was right behind you? I went downstairs and outside and upstairs outside and back downstairs. How dare you, Cindy the Skull? Hey, go to bed. I'm just gonna ignore her.
The metal grill is cool to the touch.
Leave. And sure, we'll quick save it again out of the over paranoia. Alright, communism hat is go. Ahoy, comrades! It is I. And do I have any sort of communist jacket? Some sort of sexy communist pants? Is that a thing? Indirect modes of taxation. I think they would beat me to a pulp if I was to wear those shoes. I do want to wear a bow tie. That sounds nice, but I will not replace my horrific necktie. It's another one of my one rules. Don't punch Kuno and never remove your horrific necktie. Alright, I guess that's the only communist hat I have.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory.
Discard the hat? Never! This is an Ushanka, right? Pat pat.
Kraz Mazov would have worn this Yushenka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist.
I want to fit right in. And the white jacket that you found in the communard's room? Let me check. A white jacket. I seem to remember what you're talking about, and where have I put it? I didn't think it was this lounge jacket. I guess it is from the Saramirizian Communist Party. Okay. Increase my conceptualization as well. It's after Labor Day, though. I can't believe I'm doing this. These seem like the pants of the working man. Check out my god-ass, fellow communists. And these shoes are definitely going to give me away. I need something a little more roughed up. Some boots. Some Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots. Is that a little too bougie? What other options do I have? Green snakeskin shoes. These are the shoes of the poor. Those appear to be my only options. I could go barefoot. They'd probably appreciate that. Oh, man. He's so down to earth. He doesn't even have shoes. Yeah, I'm doing it. No, just go over it. There we go. We figured it out. Apparently I have to be wearing socks, but that's okay. They're very communist socks. Alright, we're quick saving it again. And here we go. I guess having my plastic recycling bag full of capitalist scum cans might, hurt me in some way? Even in a role-playing sense? Really? Really, you care about having extra money to buy things as part of the system? Sick bastard. I'm ready now. I also don't want to threaten them with a pry bar. Here we go. Alright. Now we're ready, I promise. No more changes.
You can hear animated voices coming from the other side of the grill.
I would like to try to listen first. Give me that secret info before I burst in.
You can make out at least 2 separate voices. 2 voices, both male. Approximately early 20s.
Oh, man. I wanted to start up the Mazovian sausage grinder, not the Mazovian sausage fest.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
Are they... I don't mean to profile here. Are they building bombs? Is that what's happening? Open up, it's the police.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent.
Who's there?
It's not Maurice. It's the police. That rhymes. It's like a Dr. Seuss novel up in here. That's right. It is I, Maurice. I shouldn't engage in identity theft. That's a serious matter. Are you all communists? I'm looking for some communists.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Hey, listen. You don't know who you're talking to here. I've already built like 0.0001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. So can you help me?
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
It is Remember Dobreva and Abadanaez, however you pronounce it.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way.
No, I trust them.
No, they're still there. You can feel them back there.
I'm reaching through the bars and feeling you. You can't hide from me.
All right. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out.
I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna come in here and we'll talk, and then by the time we're done talking, I will not remember that you said to do that. So,
And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Much like the tenets of communism. That's thematically appropriate.
Have fun at your underground meeting, Pig. Hope it's a blast.
She's making subtle insinuations that they are indeed building bombs in here. Quick, save it again in case I step on a tripwire and blow us all to
The
hell.
two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor.
What you guys stacking in here? They're just playing with dominoes. I did unnecessarily profile them, and I'd like to apologize. These are some fun dominoes.
Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
Echo Maker. What a cool name.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like they want them to collapse.
Another solid metaphor.
Careful, careful.
Oh, I'm devastated by this. It's because I changed the air in here, isn't it? My mere presence has contributed to the entropy of your matchbox contraption.
Damn, hardly any difference.
The young man shakes his head and then looks up at you with barely concealed irritation.
You're late.
It's true. I'm sorry. I'm like an hour and a half late.
He should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
His companion looks up at you and squints.
His eyes are tracing an invisible line back and forth from your jacket to his companion.
So let me explain. I saw this jacket in your room, and I thought, hot damn, that'll look good on me, and then I wore it to meet you for the first time. Alright, we're all caught up.
Hey, Esteban. Isn't that your jacket?
I was just trying to fit in, and I didn't suspect that, yeah, you can have it back.
What a coincidence. You two have the same jacket. What are the odds?
Pretty slim. Pretty fucking slim.
Based on the prevalence of white Sarah Mauritian suits in Martinez, extremely low.
It certainly looks like my jacket, Alexis. Where did you get that, gendarme?
I found it in a room. You can just leave. Never mind. I found it in a room, and if it happens to be yours, I will strip in front of you gentlemen. Immediately. And I don't even accept tips, so it'll be quite fiscally cheap for you all.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. That's real Sarah Mauritian twill. Only old Sarah Mauritian communists and drug smugglers wear those anymore.
Well, I am one of those things. You guys care to buy some drugs?
He is neither of those, of course. He is simply a poor student putting on airs. Also, he doesn't have the shoulders to fill out such a jacket.
Not like you, Harrier Dubois, and your beef shoulders.
See, Uli? It's just like Mazov wrote. How does it go, gang?
This jacket is for all of us to share? I'm pretty sure that's what he wrote.
Those committed to the rights of property are those most apt to violate them.
His companion nods emphatically.
I assumed it was Maurice who broke into my room to play a trick on me. I didn't think I'd actually been raided by the RCM.
There is surprise in his voice, naturally. But is that a note of excitement you also detect?
You're aroused by the prospect of being quote-unquote raided by the RCM, are you? Well, have I got a deal for you. Do you want your jacket back? Why do you sound excited to be raided by the RCM? Do you want it back? Let's be polite here.
Absolutely not. You have to keep it.
I must keep it? Well, now I don't want to. And now if you're forcing me to...
Can you imagine the look on Morris's face when he finds out the RCM has been kicking my door down?
It's gonna give you a lot of street cred.
He'll shit himself. Positively.
I hope he does it negatively, actually.
And now they've sent one of their agents to infiltrate our meeting.
By which I mean, I hope he does not shit himself. That would be great for me. For when I eventually have to speak with him. Esteban rubs his hands together excitedly. Hold on. Now, I'm not here to infiltrate your meeting. See, I want to join your meeting.
The RCM wants to join us?
No, not the RCM. Just me.
Interesting. Does that mean you've done the reading?
So much reading. I even understood some of it.
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one.
Is this something I could have done? Is there a particular book I was supposed to have read by now? What is this reading? I've never heard of that. I thought this was a revolutionary group. There must be some misunderstanding. Or the reading, yes, I've definitely done the reading, yeah. I kind of want to see how it goes if I just wing it. Let's wing it.
You have? Excellent. Let's hear your critique then.
Oh, these are not good. These are not good options. I am very transparent right now. I thought the themes were interesting. It's probably the best of these.
They always say that when they haven't done the reading.
Aw, how dare you hit the bullseye.
Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
Can I have the reading?
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Maybe he can explain himself.
What were you doing with those matchboxes just now? Or what exactly are you two doing here? Canoodling? I suspected as much. This is not a secret communist meeting, it's just a date. What were you doing with the matchboxes?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Which have since disappeared, it seems.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
Canoodling, eh?
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results.
What exactly are you doing?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. It's the most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club.
Why, it sounds just like a regular old book club to me. So, this is where I can square off in quote-unquote theory combat, eh? Prepare your sharpest wit, I am ready. It sounds like a place for intense intellectual engagement, exactly my kind of jam. Is that gooseberry? No, it is not gooseberry. Don't know what it is. So it sounds like a place for intense intellectual engagement.
That's our whole thing. The world is so shallow, all noise and repetition. We're interested in genuinely radical critique.
But are you interested in totally tubular critique?
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless
knew it.
parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Do they teach radical Mazovian theory at the university? What does your reading group actually read?
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
State and plasm... ...
Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
Try to be polite. Keep listening.
We've also read Wertmüller's The Megastructure of History, and before that, Real and Reality.
Communist theorists love puns, in case that wasn't obvious.
Hablas un pain infernal.
The original Fizdale translation, not that watered-down revisionist garbage.
Ah, yes. Screw that revisionist garbage.
These two deserve the Order of Honor for bullshitting. There's no way they've actually read all this stuff.
Obviously.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignace Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Tell me more about these inframaterialists.
You're not familiar with them? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet, gendarme.
The two men, young men, exchange skeptical side glances, and the sexual tension is thick enough to cut with a spork. But then who's this Ignace Nilsson guy?
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
I have just continued to lower the bar of his expectations of me with every response.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Plasm, huh? Sounds like a hell of a drug. You might want to ask about it.
Where can I get some of that plasm?
The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
Did your little reading group here, your book club, if you will, have anything to do with the lynching? It seems like a pretty big jump in subjects. Where's the rest of the group? Fair enough. Are you accepting new members? Let's lead into that. Where's the rest of you?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
That's a reading pair. Shouldn't a group have, more people in it? Seems a little less, sarcastic. So there's just two of you.
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Sure.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
What happened to them?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
Something with Fabio on the cover? No, I get it.
Imagine the audacity of wanting to read a novel in a reading group.
Novels? Unbelievable. I like a good novel every now and then. You guys can still have heartfelt discussions about communist theory while taking a break for a little light summer fare. Come on. Maybe you just haven't found the right group yet.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Never forget about the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
I must know. Start at the beginning. Tell me the whole turnip debacle.
Whatever this turnip business is about, one thing is perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do.
That's exactly why I'm here. To learn from these young lovers. I mean, these two gentlemen.
You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them, you're one of them.
Okay. Did you say something about turnips? It's my favorite dialogue option I've ever seen. Let's get right into the intellectual meat of the matter. What's so bad about the Gotwaldians?
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
This language seems problematic, but I see what you mean, sure.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald.
So what's so depressing about their theories?
The Godwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
I shouldn't be laughing. This is not an appropriate time to be laughing. But somehow that's very funny. That sounds miserable, but I mean, also sounds like being an 18th century poet, so pretty rewarding, actually.
If it were, they wouldn't keep committing suicide.
Oh, fair point.
You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
Hey, no need to go for the jugular. Okay, what about the iconoclasts?
For starters, they love talking about beans.
What's wrong with beans? I like beans. What do you mean, beans?
That's right. Iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future.
Nota bene, iconoclast is an extra pejorative form of the already pejorative name, Mazovian economists, a moderate school of Mazovianism which advocates the gradual transition to communism through carefully managed economic modernization rather than violent social revolution.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah, that's perfect.
Ah yes, the much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
So they're effectively just centrist moralists, disguised as communists? I see. Is this all about kitten toe beans? Because that would be much more adorable. And what is their position on Beano, politically? How many bottles? I don't get it. Are the beans a metaphor for economic, chunks of capital? Is that what we're talking about? Little kitty toe beans a capital?
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
That's fine, though, because even if they cut our bean rations in half, we can just re-fry them. And then bam, back to normal.
And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
At least they don't have spreadsheets for... Never mind. What about the liberals? Are they liberals? I would think so. I would guess the answer to this question is yes, but I take mochi for walkies. Oh, we have a good walkies. That sounds fantastic. Is this about kitty toe beans or is this about coffee beans? Because suddenly I'm very interested if it's about coffee beans. Tell me about the liberals.
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
I should probably see a doctor.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Yep. These are liberal bones. What about Cindy? Has she ever been a part of your reading group?
Cindy is... how to describe her role?
Bouncer?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes. That's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
Do I get to submit an essay? Because I've got lots of thoughts. It's going to be 16 pages. It will be, quadruple spaced. I hope that's okay.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course.
That's why it's gorgeous in here. Understood. What were you saying about turnips?
It's an unfortunate story. You see, Our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Big turnips and little bitty turnips.
Right. So a few weeks ago we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said, what were his exact words, Ulex's?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
Remind me what inframaterialist theory says about turnips again?
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
I would like to see the graphs and the charts on this. Not that I'm doubting you, but why? Why, scientifically, why?
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
I am aghast. Sorry, I should have had the Beano.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
So you expelled Maurice from the reading group over an argument about turnips? I mean, at its face value, yeah. I don't know what role I want to take in the reading group here. Am I trying to make them feel guilty about expelling Maurice and get him back in the group? And fill some of these empty chairs with warm buttocks? Or do I just go along with what they're saying, and our group dwindles, and eventually we don't talk to each other anymore? And I already feel like a third wheel here, so I don't know. I'm gonna try to get Maurice back in the chair for his warm buttocks.
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Save me some turnips.
Go ahead.
Did this reading group have anything to do with the murder? Is the reading group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics.
The young man turns to his companion.
But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
It's a very good question. Is it only turnips that grow better under revolutionary conditions? Or does this apply to the beans, too? And what of the grapes?
Stefan, you can't be serious. For gendarme?
Hey, my gendarme buttocks is just as warm as anyone else's. Look at what you've got going on here. Don't reject me so quick.
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, you still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process. Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Oh, I'm interested as hell. Proud bookshop ruminant. My composure is quite low. And also in the game, it's at a 3, so... Did you guys have anything to do with the murder? A better way to phrase it would be, did you witness the murder, is what I'm asking. But did you have anything to do with it?
Lynching? No. We're not an operational cell.
Cindy heavily implied you were building bombs in here, is why I'm asking this.
We think of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Not me. I jumped to no conclusions, I assure you, but Cindy out there, she was hinting. What is your group's stance on the lynching? Are you affiliated with the Union in some way? And are there any operational communists in Martinez? That's a very good question. What's your stance on it?
Our stance? What? Do you want to know if the SRV has established a party line on the lynchings in Martinez?
I mean, I am curious, yes. The two young men look longingly at one another.
The SRV refers to the People's Republic of Samara, established as a socialist utopia by survivors of the revolution. It has since degenerated into a bureaucratic workers' state under the decades-long rule of President Sapormat Sport Kelazinski.
Decades-long rule is too long a rule.
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads, especially when they are doing the Indo-tribes' dirty work.
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Are they being sarcastic? You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth, but it's impossible to see your way through.
Thank you, savoir-faire. I feel seen.
It's always that way. Beneath the crust of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to erupt forth. You may witness it yet.
A gorgeous way to describe it. Are you affiliated with the Union in some way?
No, we're an independent organization. We acknowledge and respect the Union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
He speaks the truth.
So what is your stance on crime in general? Pro?
That's easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself.
Delivered with the smug assurance of a schoolboy reciting a maxim he's committed to memory.
It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
He waves his hand as though this is all there is to say on the subject of crime. Fair enough.
His companion can barely suppress a yawn.
So, are there any operational communists in Martinez?
No, unfortunately. The communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
Like this one? Show him the Belle Margrave.
His companion's eyes widen as you hold up the ancient weapon.
You jostle it slightly and it crumbles to dust all over their fancy rug.
Yes, like that one. I wonder how many of these are still lying around in cellars or sealed up behind the masonry.
He knits his brows together. I didn't even see him holding the needles. And then he looks up. It's cute. Sort of a woolly Eugene Levy situation. I like it.
Can I hold it?
It's not like it's gonna go off. It is not an operational communist. In other words, yeah, you can hold it. Just be gentle.
It's heavier than I was expecting.
This is probably gonna give him ideas, though. Now that he's held a rifle, he's gonna lust for more, and before we know it, open chaos in the streets. The rifle rests in his open palms. Its position reminds you of something.
The attitude of a priest bearing one of the holy relics of his faith. Though it is long out of service, its power is evident to him.
Search his eyes for lust.
When he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of appreciation.
All right. I was kind of hoping that would give me more, chance of being in the group if I let him hold the rifle, but it did not. It gave me nothing. It's not a terrible percentage, but it's a pretty terrible percentage. That's enough for tonight. Will you still be here if I have more questions? Playing dominoes with your bad self?
Sure. We're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Or maybe I'll catch you. Jangle your handcuffs.
Sleep well, gendarme.
I always do, except for the tortured memories. Thank you. Alright, let's check out some of Cindy's artwork, and then I'd better get out of your hair. We are creeping up on 3 hours, but thank you for listening to communist theory with me. I found that fascinating. Try not to think about the cracks spidering out across the floor and your heavy, heavy bootay upon them. A rickety easel surrounded by pots of gauche, is it? Goulash. Just in time for dinner. What am I having the thought on? Cindy's, no doubt. Don't touch. This is Cindy's goulash. Could it be the phasmid? No, probably not. I thought there was another thought I was having. But it has disappeared. I'm just gonna walk on the cracks. Try to get it back. Ah, my mother's back! This one says, no war but class war. This poster reads, under the cobblestones, communism. And this pot is full of turnips and beans. Coffee. At the bottom of the pot, an isle of black sludge rises from a shadowy sea. Gorgeous! What's this? A reflective construction vest. I'm gonna be able to get into all sorts of maintenance areas now. I don't know why I said that weird. Maintenance areas. Alright, I should probably go to bed at this point. We will start our session tomorrow, I hope, if I can get the rest of my editing done. My recording and editing done. Oh god, it's so long. I will be back tomorrow for a little sleep. We'll see what our ancient reptilian brain whispers to me in the nighttime. And then a new day with our partner, Kim Kitsuragi, tomorrow. We have a lot to discuss with him. And we have to go back to, Apartment 20, when Kim is back in our employ, and give the bad news to Boardwalk Man's family. Which is sad. I have to look somber about it. Until then, thank you for hanging out with me. You guys rock. I will see you soonish. And remember to always knit your brow and sniff deeply the communism that is under the cobblestones. But don't eat any beans, because we're on half rations. We're on like quarter rations by now, so just, I would prefer you leave the beans for me, if I'm being honest. Much love. I will see you all soonish. Bye for a bit. I'm still here. I said bye early. I needed to quick save it once I'm outside. Bye! Love you! Bye!